This episode is brought to you by the fine folks at Babylon Burning. Babylon Burning is a 50-year-old legacy screen printing business located in the heart of San Francisco's South of Market district. They specialize in high-quality custom screen printing that's built to last. For 5 decades, they've been putting ink to fabric, working hands-on with beloved SF institutions like Rainbow Grocery, the Balboa Theater, and SF MoMA to produce custom merchandise people love to wear, collect, and proudly show off. 2026 marks 50 years of keeping this well-oiled machine running strong. To celebrate this incredible milestone, longtime owner Mike Lynch has extended an open invitation to the public for an all-day 50th anniversary party on Friday, March 13th. Bring a shirt to print, dance a little, raise a glass, swap stories, and help celebrate a shop that's been keeping San Francisco weird, loud, and well-dressed since day one.
So yeah, we looked through a list of some of the women's bars, historic women's bars in San Francisco, and kept seeing Rikki's name as an owner. We Googled her, and we found out that she had a really strong sports connection in San Francisco. She's putting together women's sports teams across the city from the late 60s, late 60s into the early 90s.
That was Rikki's co-owner, Sara Yergovich. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city so special. Before I get into this one, something I'm not sure I've talked about a lot here, but Storied SF now has a fiscal sponsor, Independent Arts and Media. That means that if you're inclined and able, or if you have a rich relative looking for tax write-offs, you can donate to help us offset production costs, and that donation is tax deductible. Just click the donate button on our homepage for more information. All right, in this episode, part 2 of 2, we hear how Sara and Rikki's other co-owner, Danielle Thoe, met and decided to open their own space for folks to gather around women's sports. We pick up right where we left off in part 1, with the story of Sara and her British partner moving to SF. Here's the conclusion of my chat with Sara Yergovich and Danielle Thoe.
Have you talked to your wife since about, because
Sometimes I talk to her sometimes, yeah.
I mean, when she lets you. No, about her moving here,
Yeah.
because that's a big deal. It's very far away.
Yeah.
Is she British?
Yeah, she's British.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's still here.
She's still here. Yeah.
Amazing.
It was big. I mean, it was a total
Yeah.
adjustment. So we lived in a smallish town called Ashford in southeast England, and it felt like all of our friends were getting married, having kids, buying a house, age 24, 25.
Inspiring and depressing.
It was a lot. Yeah. I mean, and it's great. And it's worked out honestly great for them. And I love that. But it didn't feel like that was what we wanted. We wanted something that was felt more active and more nightlife. And so San Francisco kind of had all of that to offer. So it was an adjustment for sure. My wife's a teacher, so she was able to find work pretty quickly, pretty much everywhere we go. So
and you come with
easy.
a built-in family,
Yes.
at least, and maybe some friends and a support community.
Yeah, we moved in with my brother. He had a great house, and it gave us a nice soft landing, bit of safety.
What part of town was that?
Mission, so
Yes.
23rd and San Jose. Right by
Yeah,
Beretta and Mr.
yeah.
Liquor, if you're familiar.
Yes, I am. I used to live for 14 years. I lived at 20th between Mission and Valencia.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So that's right there. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we've got both of you back kind of around the same time. How did you meet, though? Let's hear that story.
Women's
and you can
sports.
both just...
Yeah, women's sports. Playing soccer.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the first time we met was at Spikes practice. You were the president of the Spikes soccer club. And at that point, or that day for practice, there weren't many non-male presenting people there, which is kind of crazy to think about like how much it's changed
Today,
overall.
yeah.
Like even in that like year, it changed
Yeah.
so much.
It's a big year.
Thanks to Danielle.
Lots of people.
Yeah. But so I remember like saying hi to you or something, and you said something like, "Oh, did this person tell you to come?" And I was like, "I don't know who any of you. I don't know. Hi, I'm Sarah. I just rocked up here." Like,
Is that how you remember it, Danielle?
I don't remember that.
yeah. I mean,
I don't.
why you wouldn't? Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't.
Right. But this was kind of you were kind of leading this?
Yeah, so the
Group?
Spikes are a nonprofit
Right.
soccer club, and so I was the president of the board at the time. Or on the board? President? Probably. I don't know.
I'll fact check that.
Okay, yeah.
Check the records.
Yeah.
You were involved, let's
Yeah.
just say. Yeah.
And I had gotten involved with some encouragement of friends in the club. Well, first, my partner who I was dating when I moved out here, actually, we went to Burning Man and they got injured. So I stepped in and played in a tournament,
Oh, okay.
like filled the roster
Like a
spot.
sub.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah. And then I, a couple times, like, tried to do stuff with the club or would, like, show up to things. And I remember I actually was on a roster one time as Lou, my former partner, Lou's girlfriend.
Oh.
And then in parentheses it said Danielle. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
there's some things that, like, need to change about this.
Mhm.
But there were kind of a younger group of people coming into the club at the time who were my age, who were really encouraging and like wanting me to come participate more and engage with the club. And we had kind of a core group of friends within the club through my partner. We now call ourselves the Evelyns, which is a long story, but they were also like, yes, like you, and some of them had played with the club for like over 20 years, and they were like, this is great, we need more women in the club. Like, why don't we have women in the club? And so I really kind of joined the board with a lot of folks' encouragement to try to bring more women, non-binary folks, more diversity to the club.
Change from within.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Did you succeed?
I think so.
Okay.
Especially in being able to hand it off to like the next folks.
Yeah.
I think one of the things with like accomplishing things a lot of times when I've been volunteering or working on different projects, it's hard to make sure something stays functioning or growing or, you know, existing after you walk away.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really proud moment to be able to roll off the board and know that there's some really good people who are continuing that. It went from like me convincing the board to like heavily discount us sending a women's team to the 2018 gay games to now
Wow.
having like 25 people show up to a Flinta, you know,
Amazing.
Sapphic-oriented
Yes.
practice night, which is just a huge difference. So,
Love it.
yeah.
So y'all met. Sarah remembers anyway.
I don't know her.
Why don't you remember that 2-second conversation we had? That's so weird, Danielle.
This podcast is to introduce you to each other.
Yes.
Should we open a bar?
Funny you should mention
Whoa.
it. Where let's hear the story of how I'm guessing it wasn't like right away, but y'all became friends.
It was pretty quick.
It was pretty quick. Then
Yeah.
let's hear that story.
I guess I remember that part.
The totally
After-
bananas idea, by the way.
Yes, yes. Well, for a few years, and like the pandemic, I guess, we'll just like push that part aside. But for some of my time
Sure.
on the Spikes board, I'd been like putting together watch parties for particularly like NWSL Championship or U.S. Women's National Team games. And it was always this ordeal of like calling different bars and like seeing if they'd put the game on and all these kind of things. And the games were at weird times. Like there was a championship final for the Professional Women's Soccer League in this country that was at 9 a.m. West Coast time, which is just bonkers. That it's like, oh, it's so unimportant. It's going to be at 9 a.m. So making sure bars were open. But I was talking to a friend about how I wish I could just open a women's sports bar. And this was like after a game. And Sarah was like, I want to do that. And we kind of started talking about it in like a fun, I think, unserious way.
Did either of you have any experience in anything remotely like this?
Not since like high school.
The best.
Service jobs.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and that's just working, right?
Yeah.
Not opening and running.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Not
okay.
at all. No.
Okay.
I think so. We didn't really have maybe an experience in the service industry so much, but we did both have good experience in building community. I feel like.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
a
I
huge
think
part of it.
I
Yeah.
think that the beginnings of all of this was focused in the community aspect,
Yeah.
not necessarily the service side of things.
Right.
Like it was kind of women's sports first, women's sports
like-
community first.
We know there's other people who want to watch these games with us. And we know that in San Francisco we can't afford a living room big enough to put them all. So they need to go somewhere else, but somewhere that people can know that the game is on.
What about the whole, like, starting a business? Did either of you have experience with that? Because that could be, I think, scary. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
betraying a lot about myself right now.
You are not wrong.
No experience starting a business. I would say, well, I mean, being on the Spikes and a couple other like volunteer nonprofit boards where like you're managing an organization budget and you're filing taxes and you're like thinking about rainy day funds and long-term things and all of that kind of organizational structure was like super helpful.
That's business.
But yeah, it's then it's a nonprofit, so you don't have to make it a profit. Here, there's like an expectation.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the idea, you identified the need, and recognized the community.
Yeah, we started with some watch parties that were successful.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to name drop some of the places that you... I'd like to do that, because I'm like,
Yeah.
they helped.
Yeah.
Right?
Massively. I mean, biggest help is Standard Deviant.
Thank you. I love
Mark
them.
and Pete and like their whole team just saying yes whenever we wanted to throw any kind of watch party to like when the Valkyries started, we would like walk in and they would just all be in Valkyrie shirts. And I was just like, wait, I don't have a Valkyrie shirt yet. How do you
Right.
guys have them all?
I think also like they didn't just say yes, and Mark normally would say, "Let's rage."
Yes.
Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
just like, okay, you can do this. It
Yeah.
was like, I'm so excited. Let's have so much fun with this.
Yeah.
Which I had not experienced at that point with other bars.
Yeah.
And like Mark also looked over like our financials and like gave us like words of wisdom in a so I'd say Mark is much less risk averse than either of us are. So it would always just be like, and then we had another advisor who comes from the Tartine family of companies.
Okay.
And so these were like wildly different pieces of advice and like organizational structures and things you need to be careful of and like things you can and can't do. But it was just like it was liberating. And also it was like, well, we can take some more risks maybe. Like he did it. It's working out, you know? Maybe it could work for us.
Is it? Would you agree with this, that in that process you also learn a lot about yourselves, and what you're willing to do, and right?
Yeah.
I
The-
feel like
the
I
risks you
really
wanna take.
learned that like Libras are a thing.
It took you a while.
It took a while.
We exist.
Yeah. Once we started making decisions, it was good.
Well, that's our fucking
Yeah.
Achilles heel right there.
Yeah.
I know I've learned to like, sometimes you just gotta psych yourself out and just make a decision.
Yeah.
Because it's not the end of the world. Well, I'm glad you agree.
You're at the right table today.
So again, like, I don't want to rush through it, but y'all, you did it. We're so on this side. Like, I met you about a year ago, and
Yeah.
we weren't there yet.
No.
You were doing very well getting there, I
Yeah.
remember, but it was probably still a little bit scary.
Yeah, the space did not look like this.
It
Yeah.
did not. I have pictures to prove that. But you did it.
Yeah.
It's here.
Oh my God. And then, do we want to talk about, like, how much do we want to talk about the Valkyries? Because was their success part of your early success, would you say?
I mean,
that fair?
Yeah.
surely. Yeah.
I mean, I went to a couple of those nights.
yeah.
Not even at the end of the season, but like when they were just like they were doing okay. And it was always wild in here.
Yes.
And for me, it mirrored a little bit of what it was like to be at a game. That, like, it almost doesn't feel like sports at this point.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to, like, rah-rah male, blah, blah, blah.
It's a totally
which I
different
have
atmosphere.
never liked.
Yeah.
It's like a loving, joyful, even if the team loses, kind of atmosphere. And I
think,
saw
like,
that here.
that really stood out to me when we'd hit capacity, especially on those, like, game nights, we would go and walk the line outside and tell people just, like, hey, we are at capacity. It's 1 in, 1 out right now. Like, if you really want to watch the game, like, I mean, our neighbors here have been wonderful. So, like, High Tops Detour will put the game on. And we'd be like, you might want to go to one of these bars. They have the game on. And there were just so many people who were happy to stand in line and watch on their phone for, like, the chance to come in here.
Yes.
And I was just so struck by that. Like, nobody likes to stand in line, but these people were very happy to stand in line. And it was, like, people of all ages, different kinds of groups, like couples and friend groups and, like, some children. And, like, that it's just been an incredible community.
Yeah.
Like a Valkyries game.
Yeah.
I see that kind of, like, this feels like the whole damn Bay Area came to this game.
And they created this, like, whole energy around the Valkyries that feels infectious. Like, it definitely, I think it helped us create a vibe for the bar that isn't the same as the Valkyries. That's really high energy all the time.
Right.
But it helped us form who we wanted to be, kind of learning from their fan base and being part of it.
Let's hear the story of the name.
Okay.
That's a San Francisco
Well, should we start
as
with
fuck story.
The Libra name?
Oh, no, the name of the bar.
Well, our LLC is called the Libra Project LLC.
Oh, that too. Yes. We need to talk
We
about
have
it.
meaning everywhere.
Yeah.
We need to bookend it with Libra talk, but then let's talk about Rikki in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, bar's named after Rikki Stryker. It was a historic bar owner, part of the community here in San Francisco for many years. She owned lesbian bars, Maud's and Amelia's, and amongst
Maud's
some
in
other businesses.
Whole Valley
Colos.
and Amelia's on Valencia. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How did y'all learn about her? Oh.
How did we learn about her?
we were looking at
the old,
we were looking at lists. So taking a step back, we thought about names for a long time. Mm-hmm. That was like maybe one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
We would have these silly nights where we would sit around and drink and talk about all the different names that we could name the bar. And they were all kind of silly, play on words, stuff like that. And I don't think...
Share any of them?
There's a list
At one point
somewhere
we
in my
asked
phone.
ChatGPT, it was not helpful.
Oh, it was really not
It was
helpful.
so bad. I was like, name a women's sports bar.
Ooh,
It
Another
was like,
strike against
It was like the
ChatGPT.
triple D, the Diva Dribble Dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diva Dribble Dive.
Because we were like women, sports, like casual,
Bar.
like, you know, things. And it was like Diva Dribble Dive. And I was like, those are 3 words that somewhat connect to
They're words, technically.
the criteria. And I was like, what did we were called? The triple D.
The triple D bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. We're just like highlighting breasts and like all the like that. I was like, that'd be great.
So none of that was working.
Yeah.
No.
Triple D, I'm also thinking Debbie Does Dallas. Not where my mind just goes, but I'm from
Yeah.
Dallas, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Gosh,
not
dodged
good.
a bullet there.
So,
Thank you for sharing Cutting Room Floor names with us.
yeah,
And
so
you chose correctly.
We chose correctly, I think. So we wanted something that was like relevant to San Francisco. We both like history and history of San Francisco.
And I think like there were other women's sports bars opening at the time, which I guess we've also kind of glossed over. But part of that was like the push for us to do it. In part, like for me, reading about other people who had never owned a bar or restaurant who were doing it, who were opening the doors, and seeing how many were opening, how much excitement there was, and it was like
Shout out Sports Bra in
Yeah.
Portland.
yes,
Big
yes.
shout
out.
Yeah,
Love that
bar of
place.
their own,
Yes.
Minneapolis.
Yes.
But like seeing that happen and seeing the excitement was like, oh, we really should do this. Like we've got to do it now. Like we got to move. So that was like a big part of the push. But also, it felt like San Francisco has a rich history that we wanted to find like a locally rooted name.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we looked through a list of some of the women's bars, historic women's bars in San Francisco, and kept seeing Rikki's name as an owner. We Googled her, and we found out she had a really strong sports connection in San Francisco. She's putting together women's sports teams across the city from the late 60s. Late 60s into the early 90s.
So great.
Tied to her bars. It was for everything, all different sports. It's really, really cool. She was also one of the first sponsors of the gay games and one of the founders of the Federation of Gay Games. So the queer piece was there, the women's sports piece was there. She also just was a huge sports fan. She was a big sports fan.
Yeah.
And so it felt like naming after a fan really spoke to kind of what we wanted the bar to be like.
Yeah. And there's just so much out there about her bars, like Maud's famously being open 365 days a year. So it's a place where people should be able to come on any day, a lot of, especially in at the time, the lesbian community, maybe not being welcome in their, house of origin, to be able to have a place to go on a holiday or an important day or to celebrate their birthday. That community orientation of Rikki and her spaces and the community that grew out of these, kind of canvases that her bar was, really connected with what we wanted our space to grow into.
I love it. It kind of is perfect.
Yeah.
In all the ways that y'all are talking about it. So, do y'all remember the exact day that your official opening was? It was May, June? June.
We had some pre-opening. I want to say 11.
12.
You have some months to figure out when your first anniversary is. I just want to that's coming up. And that's something I think to look forward to this year, right?
Yeah.
My partner knows the date, and then on it she'll say, "Did you and Sarah plan anything to celebrate month 3, month 4?" And I'm like, "Nope, I didn't know that was today." So
we're just trying to put in orders at this point,
right? Right. Keep the lights on, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I know that it was almost exactly a year ago that we announced the location. So we announced it on New Year's Day.
Oh wow! Okay, well, congratulations.
You're here putting up signs.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary of announcing the location.
Yeah.
Yay, we're recording this on the day after New Year's. But do you want to talk about anything else? The bar is open, very much so. I'm super fucking happy about it. But anything else you want to talk about looking forward to this year?
I mean, we've made it through half of a year. And I say this a lot, but everything is new. Every holiday weekend, are people leaving town or are people staying? Do people want to come here or is it going to be dead? And just even going through New Year's Eve and just everything that happens is new, and we have no data or information to really. I mean, I think everybody in San Francisco knows winter is slower. People travel. Many of us are transplants back to where they're from. Those kind of things. But when do people want to come here? Is just a constant game of figuring that out, and then what do we want to do with the space? I feel opening during the Valkyrie season was incredible because there was so much excitement. But then when the season ended for them and for BFC, it finally was we could exhale a little bit. I feel I could exhale.
Yes. Same.
And then think about, at the time it was just okay, we are a Valkyries or BFC bar 3 to 4 nights a week. And that's our identity. And now it's okay, we can pause and figure out what our identity really is.
The rest of the week and the rest of the year,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I think I knew winter was going to be slow, but to have the coldest, wettest winter in over a decade has been oh, okay, yeah, winter has hit us as a business, and it's forced us to be a lot more scrappy and creative and
to pivot, as people like to say.
Yeah.
More.
And I think in a way we were spoiled over the summer with the Valkyries first season.
Right.
And so now it's oh yeah, we can plan things.
Yeah.
We can plan events. We have a little bit more capacity to be able to do that.
Trivia night.
Yeah.
I see in the window there's a live music or whatever. What is it?
limited live performance.
Thank you. So those are some of the things y'all are planning.
But yeah, it felt like we didn't even have time to apply for the permit before to have DJs and to have live music. So there's a lot to look forward to this year for sure.
Awesome.
That and like sporting events. I mean, there's like the Olympics.
It's happening next month.
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
When this comes out is what I meant.
Yeah, they are going on right now.
Yes.
Happening.
Here's the medal count.
And it's on TV at Rikki's today.
That's right.
Has anything surprised you about this journey so far?
About the journey?
Nothing is as you plan.
Yeah.
And living with that and like embracing it.
Yeah. It kind of, the bar dictates a lot of what it needs itself and outside of our control a lot of times. So, yeah. It's like a living, breathing thing.
That was Sara Yergovich and Danielle Thoe, owners of Rikki's, San Francisco's women's sports bar. We recorded this episode at Rikki's. On the next Storied San Francisco, meet and get to know Toshio Moronic of San Francisco. Episode 12 drops Tuesday, February 17th, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.